What's up, fellow football fans and draft dorks? Football Grump here again, checking in on another position group for the 2024 NFL Draft. I dove into some of the top-rated 16 defensive linemen coming out in this draft and dove into them and ranked them according to what I saw on their game film. I came away finding kind of only one day one talent and then a logjam of day two talent, both in the second round and then another little group in the third round, and then sort of just a bunch of day three guys that I just wasn't super impressed with. Let's dive right into it. From a talent perspective, I really think that there's only like one day one defensive lineman in this draft that I think is really at a talent level day one talent. Now, because of the defensive line market and how much effective defensive linemen make on the open market, I can see day two talents being pushed into day one, so you get that extra year, that fifth year option to kind of work with your team to retain this kind of talent. So, where these guys are drafted are not really relevant to how I'm grading them. I'm grading them specifically on talent alone. And defensive line, unless you are head and shoulders like crazy Aaron Donald level, Dexter Lawrence level, Chris Jones level, I'm not really going to mark you as day one talent. So for me, there was only one in this one, and it's Jer'Zhan Newton from Illinois. 6'2", 300-pound defensive lineman, strong run defender, adept at getting his hands on the offensive lineman quickly and controlling and shedding the block to make the tackle. I think he's even more impressive as a pass rusher. He's got a couple of different pass rush moves. He's got good closing ability, and I think that he has the strength to control blockers before tossing them aside and making chase. There are some things that I think he's not very good at. For instance, he is lacking some bend and flexibility, and that may sound kind of silly, but when it comes to making odd angle tackles or last minute quickness from the guy he's trying to tackle, whether it be the quarterback or running back, he can struggle to adjust and make the actual closing tackle. Only get a hand on somebody or something like that. And I think he could also stand to play a little bit more disciplined, sometimes overrunning things and freestyling maybe a little bit too much. Let's get right into the clips. First one here, he's over the right guard. Control, shed, tackle. Next one over the right tackle. Control, shed, almost made the tackle. Over the left guard here. Again, control, tackle. Over the left guard here, really fast out of his stance, drives into the backfield. Over the left tackle, left guard here, again, drive into the backfield, strings the run outside. Over the right guard here, takes on the block, controls, makes a tackle. Over the left guard, unblocked, but makes a solid read and makes the tackle. And again, over the left guard, completely unblocked, but makes a solid read and makes the tackle. Now here we are in the passing game. Over the right guard here. Two-hand swipe, closes fast, and there's your sack. Over the left tackle here, again, really, really quick inside, toss aside, chase, and sack. Over the right guard here, two-hand swipe, closes in fast, gets a QB hit. Over the right guard again. Bull rush, QB hit. Over the right guard again, he's going to loop around, bring pressure. There you can see a little bit of lack of bend, he wipes out. Over the left guard here, loops around and pressures. Over the right guard here, gets hands inside and tosses him to the ground before closing in. Good chase. There's a little bit of that lack of flexibility. Over the right guard here, club, work right around. Outside and get some pressure on there. Over the right guard again. Bull rush and shed. Good chase. Left guard here, give him a little rip move. Put pressure on. Moving into day two, I really like Darius Robinson from Missouri. 6'5", 295 pounds. He looks like a long and explosive kind of 5 technique guy, or maybe a defensive end in a 4-3 system. I think he's an excellent pass rusher. I think he frustrates offensive linemen with really active hands. I think he's got a solid bull rush. And I think he has a good mix of speed and power, and he's good at shedding blockers. I'd like to see him with some added strength and with some work on his leverage. And I think that he needs to add some pass rush moves to his repertoire. But to me, he looks like a day one starter with some high upside to continue to grow. Then moving further, I really like Braden Fisk from Florida State, 6'5", 300-pound defensive lineman, really from Western Michigan, did his final year at Florida State University. Really stout run defender. He plays with excellent pad level and really understands how to use leverage. He's a disruptive pass rusher. He's got an excellent bull rush, a swim move with violent and active hands. He's a really high effort and motor player, and he fights to recover really, really well, but he does need to work on rushing with more of a plan. I think, sometimes when his plan half works, he can fight through it, but when it totally doesn't work, he's like clueless on what to do next. High effort, he clearly wants to do something, it's just that he doesn't know what. Let's pop right into the clips here, starting with run defense. Right here, over the left guard, good leverage, good control, sheds, and makes the tackle. Same thing here. Over the left guard, good control, leverage, shed, tackle. Over the left guard again. Over the left guard a lot. Leverage, control, force this to bounce outside and chase. Over the left guard again. Leverage, control, shed, tackle. Over the center here. Fast out of his stance. Knife into the backfield and chase this down. Over the left guard here. Good move inside. Spin, chase, and make that tackle. Over the left guard again. Fight through this double team. Fight through it. Stay with it, make the tackle, essentially. On the pass rush, good bull rush here over the left guard. Again, over the left guard, bull rush. Just take him right to the dirt. Over the left guard here, he's going to do a nice swim move. Nice. Get another look at a different one over the left guard, swim move. The inside this time, pretty much gets held. This one is a bad penalty here, the face mask, but 2 inches lower, and that's a grab on a shoulder and a great sack. Swim move right here over the left guard. Bull rush to the left guard there. Drive him backwards. Left guard again. Fight through and give some chase to the QB there. Follow after the play. Look at the effort. Left guard play around the edge here. Put some pressure on the quarterback. And over the left guard again. He's going to control the block in the hole and give some attitude at the end. I like that. And that's the last thing I'm really going to say about him is that he is a mean player. It seems to me that, like, Braden Fisk has got just about everything working for him, and that if he can just get some technique things kind of figured out, learn how to rush with more of a plan, I really think that Braden Fisk is going to be a high upside player. Next up is Byron Murphy II from Texas. 6'1", 305-pound defensive lineman. Plays with really outstanding pad level and leverage. I think he's pretty solid in the run game. He's got really active hands that allow him to stay free to make plays, but it does feel like he may lack some strength to stand up and take on the blocks rather than shedding them all the time. I also do think that he, just like Jerzon Newton, lacks a little bit of bend and flexibility to make any tackle that's not head-on. Anything that just at the last second he doesn't get a clean shot at might be, a lack of finish there. He is a very accomplished hand fighter, though. Really active, non-stop hands, good quickness to shed blocks and knife through the line. I think he looks good as a 3 technique in the NFL, and again, he may lack some strength to take the blocks on head-on, but the reason I have him below Braden Fisk is because technically he seems pretty sound already. It kind of looks like maybe the ceiling on Byron Murphy is only a little bit higher than what he already is. But let's take a look at the clips here. First, lined up over the right guard, he's going to work his way inside, work his way back outside, force that run to bounce. Then lined up over the left guard here, he's going to work through the double team, chase, get in on the tackle. With the right guard here, good pad level, good leverage. Can't make the tackle but forces the run around him. Over the right guard again, good pad level, good leverage. Look at that leverage. And make the tackle. Good stuff. Over the right guard one more time, shed that blocker. Can't make the tackle but closes well. Over the right guard, control and shed, and then work through a bull rush on the next blocker. Over the left guard now, working through the cut blocks. Over the left guard again. Force your way through the inside. Good stuff. Left guard again. Fight through the double team and act with some active hands. Over the right guard now. Fight through that cut block like it's nothing. Over the right guard again. Work around the outside. This is him getting held. Right guard again. Really good pad level. Really good leverage. Again, really refuses to let anyone get lower than him. And then over the left guard, he's going to work around over the top and close in on the quarterback here. And after that, Somebody that really caught my eye that I was not expecting, Mekhi Wingo from LSU, 6'1", 300-pound defensive lineman, extremely high effort player who will chase plays most others would give up on. I think he plays the run well. He controls and sheds blockers well with responsible contain. I think he rushes the passer very well with great strength and drive behind his bull rush. Solid ability to toss and chuck blockers as well. Overall, I think the biggest area of improvement is developing his hand fighting and making his hands a little bit quicker and more active. Otherwise, I think Mekhi Wingo is just, I think he's outstanding. If you can just make the technical improvements needed. Let's take a look at the clips here for him. First up, right over the right guard, hands into the chest, push back, make a drag tackle. Almost a safety. Over the right guard again, same thing. Hands in the chest, push back, drag tackle. And then over the right guard, scrape over the top, make that tackle. Over the right guard, one more time, control, follow the runner, make the tackle. Good stuff. Left guard now, bounce off the blocker, make the tackle. And one more time, right guard, control the block, make the tackle. Get in on it anyway. Pass rush. Right guard, slip through, get a QB hit. Good stuff. Left guard, unblock, get some good chase. Over the left guard again, little mini rip move, good chase. Right tackle, bull rush, doesn't give up at all. Look at that, wide out of the play, no, QB hit. Left tackle, stay with it, don't give up. Off the screen, comes right back, makes a sack. Over the center now, work over the top. Contain, stay with it, get a QB hit. Left guard, quick feet, inside move, kind of gets just tripped up by his own guy here. Left guard, bull rush. Left guard one more time, get some good hustle in here, right? Control, stay with it, chase. Look at this, all the way down here and pretty much makes a tackle. Left tackle, bull rush, just eat the dirt. One more time, right guard, works on the inside, gets a good rush up there. After that, we have T'Vondre Sweat from Texas. I personally saw this massive human at the Senior Bowl at 6'4", 335 pounds. I think he best fits as a one technique or a zero technique. He's a little bit slow off of the snap, but he is really hard to move. He has natural strength that came with that size, and he's got really good leg drive and pad level to push to go with it. Other than being a bull, though, he doesn't really offer much as a pass rusher, but that's okay. That's not really what he is trying to be or is. But I do think that he does need to add some pass rush stuff. He needs to add a little bit of hand fighting. I think he could work on his leverage and his leg drive to better handle double teams. He does seem to struggle a little bit with those still. After that, we have Brandon Dorlus from Oregon. I really like at 6'3", 290 pounds. It looks like he could play in multiple spots in the O-line. I think that versatility kind of shoots him up a little bit in my favor. These next couple of guys I think are really interchangeable. They're all pretty good, and my opinion on their order might change over the next couple of weeks. But right now, Brandon Dorlus I have listed next. He looks pretty average all around. He's just pretty much good at everything, not really special at anything. Good active hands, good pad level, he's got decent leverage, pretty good ability to control and shed blockers. I think he could work on adding some pass rush moves, maybe going into rushes with more of a plan. I think he could add some strength. Plenty of things to work on, but nothing really is a detriment. After him, I have Dwayne Carter from Duke, 6'3", 305 pounds. Some good quickness off of the snap. He's got some good natural strength, and I think he's got some good pad level, but he needs to work on transitioning that pad level into leverage, sinking his hips and lifting. He does have some active hands. They need a little bit of refinement, need to work on turning that activity into actual moves. And I think right now he's just kind of reliant on the bull rush and power, and he needs to diversify that a little bit. And then after that I have, oh boy, I'm going to say this wrong, Rook Orororo from Clemson. Just going to call him Rook from now on. 6'4", 290-pound man of muscle. Really great length. He's got really good strength at the point of attack. Good strong leg drive in the bull rush and in run defense. I think he's got a good ability to control blockers, but he does struggle to shed sometimes. And I think that right now his hand fighting is not active enough and it needs some development, but definitely somebody with high upside. Moving into day 3, Mason Smith from LSU, 6'6", 315 pounds. I do like Smith a lot. He has the size to be a big factor, but he looks like he lacks the refinement. Just a few simple fixes to leverage form and some hand fighting technique could go a long way, and he's still pretty young, so that could help. After that, we have Tyler Davis from Clemson, big guy that needs to get a little bit bigger. 6'4", 250 pounds is a little light for me. He does a decent job of stalemating offensive linemen in the run game by absorbing blocks, but he can do better. Pad level is okay. Leverage is bad form and lacking. He's got a little bit more of a lean to his stuff. His hands need some refinement, lacking a little bit of violence and technique, but they are active. And I think his legs need to keep working. He could add some natural strength and weight and work on his technique, but I would consider Tyler Davis like a developmental kind of guy. After that, we have Leonard Taylor from Miami, 6'3", 305 pounds, mostly average. Another guy that's just sort of good at everything and not great at anything. Good at blowing up blocks. I would say he's not very effective at rushing the passer or stopping the run, though. As a pass rusher, he does a decent job of bull rushing with his legs churning. Just overall was not very impressed with Leonard Taylor. After that, Chris Jenkins from Michigan, again, 6'3", 305 pounds. Another guy that I just was not overly impressed with. Didn't find him to be super effective. He uses his size to stonewall and hold off the point of attack, but overall just generally average at everything. He might be moldable for like a role position or something like that, but just didn't really jump off the tape to me. Following that, McKinley Jackson from Texas A&M, 6'2", 325 pounds. As a run defender, I think he plays with some decent pad level, but he just doesn't drive his legs, so he kind of stalemates a little too often. And as a pass rusher, I think that he leans a bit too much and struggles to leverage. I think he can knife through some gaps pretty well, though. He just isn't really good at chucking offensive linemen, and his hands are kind of inactive. We have Jordan Jefferson from LSU, 6'4", 317 pounds. High effort player. Comes with some natural strength to neutralize blockers. Some good pad level and decent leverage, but not very effective too often, in my opinion. Hands are kind of inactive, and pass rush moves kind of suffer because of it. And rounding out the bottom here for day 3, Nazir Stackhouse from Georgia. He looks the part at 6'3", 320, but he just doesn't look like he plays the part. It looks, for some reason, like he has a lack of strength, like poor pad level, some poor leverage, lack of leg drive, just not enough upper body strength to shed blockers without leverage. He's got slow and inactive hands, just not very effective in either the run or pass game. And I think that a team that takes him is kind of banking on his size and hoping that they can refine a lot of the things that are wrong with this game. And they might be right. I just don't know how long that kind of thing is going to take, so I've got him rated pretty low. I'll be back next week with edge rushers, guys, but just as a final reminder, all of these clips came courtesy of Do a Barrel Roll. He has a Twitter, a YouTube channel, so be sure to follow him on there. And I don't collect anything on Patreon for my channel, so if you want to support me, you might as well support him. See you.